Oh, come on. Why you keep falling? All right. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. I know it's early. Today's an early live section. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Another week. Today's Tuesday. Hope everybody have a successful, a successful week ahead. Hope your great day is blessed. I always say, you know, do your best. Every day is not gonna look the same. Just do your best. Don't stress out what you cannot control. Keep pushing. This smells so good, yeah. Whatever you cannot control, keep pushing. Do your best and leave the rest with God. So today we are, hi guys, welcome. If you guys are new here, by the way, hi, my name is Catherine. Welcome to the live. So today we're gonna be talking about what would you do, how do you respond to I know, how do you respond to a guy approaching you or a lady approaching you? Comment down below. I know sometimes some people find difficulties. Some people don't know how to react based on maybe the lady and stuff like that. Cause some people it seems like they are not approachable, and some people some of the men sometimes feel like some men sometimes don't take rejection very well as well, and I'm sure some ladies as well. I think it goes vice versa. Me personally, I would never approach a guy, but that's just my own opinion. Everybody, live a life differently. If you're a lady, you okay with doing that, that's cool, that's on you. But yeah, I want to know, how do you respond when somebody approaches you? How do you respond? Comment down below. Um, yeah, I want to hear your opinion. Hi, thank you for all the hearts. Me personally though, I try when a guy do approach me, I try to um let me say it this way. I try not to be disrespectful, but I also try to be earnest, right? Yeah, I don't want to hurt your feelings or something like that. So if I don't like you, you can still let somebody down respectfully without coming across like rude. Yeah, I try to do that. Usually I would be like, if I feel like I'm not into the person, I would just sometimes I would be like, oh, right now I'm not looking and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for the offer and stuff like that. But or let's say if I'm into the person as well, and if I'm into the person and I'm not ready, I'm also gonna tell them. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like it's good to be earnest, but sometimes you cannot be too rude about it. Because the world we live in today, some people don't know how to control themselves when it comes to rejection and stuff like that. So I tried, to let that down without coming across like being rude. So, those if I was if I were in a public setting and the person approached me, if it's a whole stranger, if I feel uncomfortable and I feel like uh I know this had happened to me before, even though I was not into the person and stuff like that, but I felt very uncomfortable. So I'm like, oh, even though I know that I didn't see them that way, but like you can tell that somebody's not going to uh take no for answer. So I will be like, okay, I will take your number and stuff like that, because I'm not about to stay here and be arguing with you and stuff like that, or you just like, just because somebody told you no, you don't know how to take no for answer. So I'll be like, okay, yeah, give me your number, and yeah, we'll keep in touch and stuff like that, and just keep it moving. Depending on the individual, like if I feel like I'm not into the person, but I feel uncomfortable and stuff like that, and I just want to get out of there, I'll be like, oh, give me your number and stuff like that, I'll call you. And they will never hear from me. So I guess sometimes just like common sense how you do it. Yeah. So I love to hear your opinion. How do you respond and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, ew, yeah, you are not my type and stuff like that. I'm not. Usually, I don't go into detail. Be like, yeah, you ain't my type. You are not my cup of tea, or whatever the heck it is. I just tell the person. Um, I don't know. I know sometimes some ladies will be like, I'm currently in a relationship just to get a guy away from them and stuff like that. So sometimes they'll be like, oh, I'm currently in a relationship and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, sometimes it works. I mean, whatever works for you. Yeah. If you feel like you just want to keep the person, away from you and stuff like that, um, and you tell them, oh, yeah, I'm in a relationship and stuff like that. But, I always say just know me, no. If the person is not feeling you, take that and keep it moving. Whoever into you and stuff like that will want to be with you. At the end of the day, we all have somebody in this world that is our person. So yeah, don't feel bad if somebody tell you that, oh, I don't like you that way and stuff like that. Um, I know sometimes too, some guys will be cause some ladies, they are just like bubbly and stuff like that. They are very should I say social and stuff like that. So sometimes they get misunderstood and stuff like that because they are so nice. So they feel, some guys will feel like, oh, she like me like that. But sometimes you gotta read along the line. If you come to the person and be like, oh, I like you, and they say no, just take no for an answer. Keep it moving. At the right time, if it's your person, it'll be worth it. You don't want to be with somebody who don't want to be with you, or you don't want to be with somebody just because, yeah, okay, the girl told me no, so I'm not going to take no for an answer. So you're going to just act crazy and stuff like that and try to show us, start cursing her and all that stuff. To me, that is not necessary. So yeah, just be like, okay, you know some ladies as well love to be chased. So even if they are into the person, they might say no one or two times, stuff like that. But I always tell guys, just read between the line. You will know if somebody into you and stuff like that. You're gonna know. So if she wanna be chased and stuff like that, and you know she's into you, that different. But if you know very well that, yeah, this person is, we are not compatible and stuff like that, and she tell you no, just keep it moving. Don't stand there and make a whole big deal out of it. Because I know sometimes some guys will go out of the way just because you tell them no and stuff like that. They'll do whatever it takes to be with you. and then and stuff like that, just to prove something. But at the end of the day, if that person is not into you, you are just wasting your time. So be with somebody who want to be with you, you know. So yeah, I want to know, how do you respond to how do you respond when somebody do approach you and stuff like that? Especially me personally, one thing I've noticed, they'll say if the person is already in a relationship that I know of, or the person is already married. I don't know why some guy does this. Like, you know, you married. Why would you? Why would you want to break your relationship just because you want temporary pleasure? So they'll be like, oh, they always find excuse why they feel like they should have somebody on the side. So I'm like, if you can do that to your wife, or if you can risk your relationship, your partnership, the person that you've been with for a long time, if you can risk that just for a temporary pleasure, what make me feel like you are not going to do the same thing to me, you know? So, hi, welcome. Yeah, so what make me feel like you are not going to do the same thing to me, you know? So I know sometimes some ladies will still go with a guy if they are married and stuff like that. But I can tell you, if you ever knowingly know that that person is married, you go with them, you're going to get some karma. And me personally, my conscience will always like bother me knowing that, oh, it's a high risk of me breaking somebody's relationship. I will never be happy. I will always have that conscience to be like, this is not right, because I wouldn't want that person to do it to me. I wouldn't want anybody to do it to me. So if you know that that person is in a relationship or they are married, it's not a good idea to go out with them, because at the end of the day, after everything, they have to go to the family. Yeah. um I don't know if you do care though, like the guys, if you really do care about a relationship or stuff like that, their wife, because you're gonna get caught at some point. So you just have to know that you're gonna get caught. And so what happened if sometimes they feel so comfortable, they feel like their wife is not gonna leave them because their wife care about them or they love them. They feel like that lady is never going to move on just because she's going to pour out all his mess, because at the end of the day he thinks that she loves him so much and he's taking care of his family and stuff like that. So sometimes they feel like, oh, she's never going to leave me, you know. Yeah. But you can have the nicer lady, right? You can have the most nicer lady. You feel like she's never gonna leave you. At some point when she get tired with your nonsense, yeah, she gonna leave you. And there are some people, they are not replaceable. Yeah, you might find somebody, but there are some people you cannot replace. So sometimes you just have to be mindful and stuff like that. I always say, yeah, it's like sometimes we just fall apart. If I'm ever with somebody, I just, I'm with somebody, yeah, at the beginning I might have care, but then I love them. But as time go by, if I feel like I'm not into that person anymore, or I feel like um the relationship have taken its course, or I feel like maybe we both are going different direction, and that's okay. I'm willing to let go, even though I might care about that person and stuff like that. I'm willing to let go, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to waste your time to sit up here thinking, making you feel like, yeah, I want to be with you, and if I don't want to be with you, hello, welcome. Yeah, so that's just my thing. I feel like we should be very transparent. um I know sometimes some guys that I have talked to in the past who feel like it's okay to cheat on their wives, they always have this excuse that, oh, she's not paying them no mind, she's not giving them what they want. That can be sexually or whatever, that you know that, oh yeah, now she don't sleep with me like she used to and stuff like that. That's some of the excuse that they gave. But um I feel like if you really do care about a person, that shouldn't be a reason why would you want to step down on your wife and stuff like that just because she's not sleeping with you like she used to. Um Relationship had different stages. At some point of that relationship, some people uh maybe you doing I would say maybe you doing something that turning her off, that she don't want to sleep with you. Because I know as a lady, if you're doing something to me that I don't like, I know it's not a good, it's not good that you keep you deprive your partner of sex, that, and especially if you and a person in a committed relationship, or your husband or stuff like that. I know it's not a good idea to withhold sex away from them, but sometimes some guys, they just do stuff, they just turn you off. Like they do stuff and you keep telling them and they don't pay attention. So at some point you don't want to sleep with them anymore, you know. um I know sometimes some ladies stay in a relationship because sometimes they already have kids with this person and they want their kids to have both parents together and stuff like that. But me, I always say, at the end of the day, if you and that person, if you and your partner really do care about your kids, you're gonna do everything it takes to love on the kids. But you don't have to stay with a person just because you want your kids to have both parents. Especially if you are not happy in that relationship, you shouldn't have to stay just because you want your kids to have both parents. At the end of the day, you showing your kids that she settle for it, because kids are very smart. They observe everything. You might feel like they are not observing everything that's you guys are doing, but yeah, kids are very observant. They're gonna grow up thinking that it's okay, that I should have to settle for this. Some parents, they are they'll say, for example, some guys, they may be a good father or a good dad, but it may not just be the kind of husband you're looking for, and that's okay. You don't have to stay with them if you feel like you are no longer happy in that relationship, you know. Because the longer you stay in that relationship, then you are no longer happy, especially if the other person is not willing to change anything in that relationship. You're gonna get you just gonna be miserable, and you just gonna be upset all the time. You are not gonna be happy. So you never let somebody take your happiness away from you, your peace of mind and stuff like that. Yeah, you might have won that relationship to work, but there are some times it don't just work out, and that's okay. It's okay sometimes to just let go if it's no longer working and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. What are some of the things that you'll do if a guy approaches you and stuff like that? Of just for examples too, sometimes uh also if the guy is very old and he say he likes you, if you are not into that person, just tell them, no, I'm not looking. I know sometimes they're gonna try to change your mind, but if you are not into that person, just respectfully tell them that you are not looking right now. Even if you are looking, just tell them. um And one message that I will have for guys, like if a lady ever tell you no, especially one or two times, Just let go. Don't push it. Don't force it. Um, Me personally, as a lady, I would never approach a guy like I said earlier, because I just feel like it's a job of the guy to approach. Even if I like you, I would never be like, oh, I want you and myself to be together. I would never do that, because I just feel like that's a job of the guy to tell you that he likes you. So obviously, if he's not telling you that he like you, maybe he don't see you that way. So or if that relationship end up not working, he'll be like, oh, you the one asked me out, or you the one asked me to be with you. Because yeah, I don't just agree with, it's my own opinion, y'all, but I don't just agree with the lady shooting the shots as a guy. I don't, yeah, I don't just agree with that. But anyway, what else? But if you ever in a uncomfortable situation, because I have done that in the past. If you ever in an uncomfortable situation, you out and you feel like that person wouldn't just take no for an answer. Sometimes just take the number and block them. Yeah, because at the end of the day, your life matters. There are some people who don't just take no for an answer. So yeah. And one thing I would say though, don't be too quick to show somebody that you're talking to where you lay your head at the end of the day, because until you sure that person is there for the right reason and you feel like you are safe, especially if you have kids though, don't learn to make that mistake. Me personally, I have learned this. Don't be too quick to take the guy to where you leave your head. First of all, your kids, that's where they feel comfortable. That's their home. So don't be too quick to take a guy to your house and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, especially if the kids are not into that person and stuff like that, just because the mom want to be with this person and the kids have to feel uncomfortable around that person, I don't think it's fair to the kids, number one. And I feel like you should make sure your kids are safe, they feel comfortable before you take any person around them, because everybody don't have the same go hard as everybody. Some people, I have seen a lot of, or I have heard of a lot of instances, some guys preying on, like you with this dude and he's preying on your kids. That is not okay. So just do your homework. I always say do your homework. Make sure whoever you decide to take around your kids is safe, because it's not fair to your kids, and the kids don't deserve that. At the end of the day, they do not deserve that. So that will be one message for sure. I'll have to tell you guys. For the ladies, yeah, be sure. Don't rush the process. Like, don't be too quick to show the person where you lay your head. Or don't be too quick to carry that person around your kids. Because number two though, it's not even okay that your kids have to see you go from one man to another, from one man to another. Yeah, they're gonna watch those stuff and they feel like it's okay that you just like go from one person to another, go from one person to another. You keep bringing all these different men around your kids, So be sure before you do that. Cause yeah, at the end of the day, the person might be into you, but they might not like your case. So be sure. I say do your homework. Be sure that is worth it before bringing this person around your kids. And also, like the person that the friends that the person have as well, take that into consideration, his friends group and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, if you around this person, or if you make it seem like it's okay that you bring this person around your kids, and and they have friends that come over and stuff like that, be mindful as well. Know who that person is hanging with, because you don't want some friends group are not good. You gotta make sure you protect yourself and your kids. You can't just be so um should I say gullible? Feel like, cause not all people have good hearts. Some people are just evil. So just make sure everything is safe before. Because me personally, if I ever know your friends group is not somebody I see, if I know you don't have a good friends group, I personally wouldn't want to date you, because I feel like at the end of the day, when we are together, your friends group at some point are going to come around. So if I feel like they are not good and you are not willing to let go of those friends group, I can't be with you, because, like I said, at some point, those friends group they're gonna be around. So if I feel like it's not a there, I'm not gonna be with you. Or they don't have the same mindset. Like I said, you can't trust everybody. Some people are just evil. They don't give a damn. They just willing to hurt anybody just for temporary pleasure. So yeah, you know, you can't trust everybody these days. So just be mindful. Hello, welcome. You just be mindful. Who you choose to be with, cause I'm telling you, some people will be laughing in your face like they do care about you, but their mindset is they are evil. I know not everybody does that, but I'm just saying some people they'll be laughing, gaslighting you, make you seem like they want to be with you, but they don't. They just want something that you have. So, make sure it's the right person. Make sure this person, at the end of the day, when you and that person are not together, make sure it's that kind of person who is willing to let go, or who is not going to do everything to destroy your life just because you guys are no longer together. I always say though, be with somebody who, when the relationship, I know that's not what we plan for, to be like, oh yeah, one day we ain't gonna be together. I know we don't plan for that, but in your mindset, you should also have that okay, is this kind of person that at the end of the day, when we are no longer together, that they are not just going to do everything to destroy my life. Because some people, they don't know how to let go. They're going to make sure, if you are no longer with them, they're going to make sure they destroy your whole life or the people around you. So yeah, I think that's all I have today. What do you guys think? I want to hear your opinion on this topic. Um, Also, let me know, yeah, if somebody approaches you, what are things that you are looking for, like that will make you feel like, yeah, I'm feeling this person, stuff like that. I truly believe, um, all the sign that we do miss is be right there. That could be red flags, green flag, whatever the heck it is. Everything is in our face, but sometimes we just overlook it. Um, and at some point, it become a bigger issue and stuff like that. Everything is in our face. Like if you really pay attention, I always say sometimes it's worth taking your time than rushing the process. Get to know the person more, um, before you feel like, yeah. Cause yeah, whoever, some people know how to pretend and stuff like that, but as long as that person character, no matter how they try to pretend, if you take your time with that person, right? You're gonna get to you're gonna get to know that person, what they're really there for. If they're there for the right reason or not, you're gonna start to see it. Or if that person is a good person, you're gonna start to know it. So I think sometimes some people just rush the process. They just rush into everything. Yeah, I know at the end of the day, if you really do, if you are attracted to this person, you want to be with this person. I know some people don't know how to, take step by steps and stuff like that. They just go 100%. But sometimes be a little bit observant. It's going to save you a lot of headache along the way. Be very observant. Pay attention. I'm not saying just pick on every little stuff that they do, but be very observant. Look around you. How do they treat people around? How do they treat the parents? How do they treat ladies? Look at all the stuff around you. Yeah, right now you guys might be cool and all that. But if you are very observant, you paying attention, you're gonna catch up on those stuff, because no matter if somebody trying to hide who they are, you're gonna catch up. You're gonna start to catch up on those, on the behavior. Yeah, I think that's about it. I always say never let anybody force you to be in a relationship, especially if you don't want to be in a relationship with that person. Cause some people will like pressure you and stuff like that. Never let anybody pressure you into being in a relationship with them. If you don't like them like that, follow your heart. Maybe it's a reason why your heart is telling you, or maybe it's a reason why your heart is rejecting that person. Follow your intuition. Don't force anything that you feel like your heart is telling you no, But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go today. Tomorrow for sure I'll go live. I wanted to get my life out of the way early today because I have other stuff to do before I go to work. So hope everybody have a wonderful day. Um, Wishing everybody a successful relationship. I pray that whatever you're looking for in life, that can be a great partner. Uh, that God send that person into your life. Um, Everybody is a good feelings when you guys do genuinely care about each other. Um, so yeah, is willing to make sure that whatever they do, they think twice. They don't just do stuff, then later be like, oh, I'm sorry. They want to be with you, so they're gonna make sure whatever they do, um, they think about it twice before they do anything. That they are not going to let temporarily pleasure or whatever make them to do something that they ain't going to take back. At the end of the day, I always say though, the longer you guys are together, sometimes you guys are not always going to agree. But what matters the most is if both parties really want to be together and stuff like that. When everything get difficult, that they ain't just going to run away. So, but you guys going to go through some challenging times. As long as, I always say, as long as it don't have to do with abuse or cheating and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not going to take. But like, when it comes to personality wise and all that stuff, especially two different people are coming together, there's gonna be at some point there's gonna be some challenges, but that you guys are able to work. But when it comes to a guy or lady being abusive, stuff like that, don't take for granted. Don't take it easy. But what they're gonna start now it's not going to stop. It's even going to get worse. So yeah. Um, like I said, I will catch you guys up tomorrow. Let me know what other topic you guys want us to discuss. Always appreciate you guys as well. Always nice talking to everybody. I think we all learn just by, having a conversation, talking about it. Everybody has different experiences when it comes to relationship. Everybody have learned some kind of lesson that the person haven't learned. So just by having this different discussion, you never know, you might learn something that may help you in your current or next relationship. So it's about to rain, but anyway, you all stay safe out there. Never let anybody compromise your peace, your safety, your happiness. Okay. All right, y'all. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Still blessed. Bye.